Let me just first say good morning to everybody. I think it's still morning. We are going to be doing these all today, tonight, and most of them tomorrow. I think the last one will be had tomorrow around 4 or 5. So encourage others to come and be a part of the team member forums that we're having. Because we're going to do this monthly. You're going to enjoy it. There probably in the future will be a little more interactive. Today it's a little more action. Okay, this is a bit to understand what the forums are about. You want to set the foundation, but in the future they're going to be a little more interactive. I'm going to ask for questions, participation, and so forth. So, well, what I want to do first, now that everybody's almost everybody's got their popcorn, but what I want to do to get us started is just say a quick word of prayer as we'll do each forum. If you're uncomfortable with that, just pause for a moment. But, I'm going to use a word of prayer. Father, thank you for those in this room, what they mean to me, what they mean to the organization, most of all, what they mean to the families. We ask that you give each one in here guidance and serve others. Thank you for that opportunity you have. Thank you for your son. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. Okay. Hey, I'm glad you're here because we are going to have a good time for about 50 minutes. So hang on, okay? The first thing that I want to do is just really talk to you about a platform. But before I do that, we're going to have a drawing. So, Kyle, you're the lucky one. Don't put your own name now. All right? Thank you. Mia McBride. Mia, are you here, Mia? Hey, Mia. Hello, Mia. So you get to come back today, Mia.
You can't look.
You get a free ticket for another
snake in there.
Okay.
You want to
Mia
try
gets
it?
a meal.
Oh, try it? You want to try it? Try it. Because you're already in the
Oh, wait a
cafeteria.
minute. She gets to do it.
Because she works in the cafeteria.
We'll have another drawing later, but that's the first. So Mia, congratulations.
Thank you.
So what I want to do is set the platform. Missy, if you would, while I'm thinking of it and while Missy's putting up the acronym that we're going to use, I want to say thank you to Glenda for sure. I'll introduce Glenda in just a minute as somebody that stepped up. That's what I'm looking for. Somebody that raised their hand and said, I want to do this. And so I appreciate her when it comes to customer service stepping up. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. Dr. Joe Pettigrew's in the back of the room, and Dr. Pettigrew and I have worked together for a number of years, and I appreciate his energy that he'll bring, and you'll see that in just a minute. It'll be all over you. And then I want to say thank you to Missy for her background support, and you can thank her for the popcorn and root beer that we had. Somebody said, hey, I hear y'all having beer at the cafeteria. No, it's root beer. So I want to leave you with one thought, and that's the platform that you're going to hear me talk from routinely. I've talked to the board, I've talked to community members about this already, stakeholders in the community, and that's simple. What you see is what it is. No matter where you work and what we can talk about here on this campus and our other clinic campuses will fall on these 4 words or acronym, however you want to say it, QCCI, Quality, Customer Service, Cost, and Innovation. And we're going to spend time with each one over time. Today we're going to spend a lot of time with customer service as we're going to every forum. But we're going to talk quality at some point. We're going to talk in depth about customer service every forum. We'll talk about cost in just a minute. I'll always address where we are financially. And then we're going to end today, as you'll see, with innovation. All right? One thing I want to point out, a couple, I'll always have little pearls that I kind of ask you about. How many have read the book Good to Great? You don't ever read? You're probably like me. And listen, I'm almost forced sometimes. It's hard for me to sit down and read a book. But let me encourage you. If you like to read, pick up this book and read it. Good to Great by Jim Collins. It's a business book. Why some companies make the leap and others don't is in the heading. So the first sentence of this book sums up the whole point of me bringing this up. Good is the enemy of great. It's the first sentence in this book. Good is the enemy of great. Now we can relate that personally and professionally. So personally, you know, when I'm growing up, man, I like many of you this spring, I was all about athletics, loved it, I excelled, I wanted to be great. When it came to book work, I was okay with just doing it. Just get by, not really do all the extra point work, take good grades, so that's all, that was good with me. We're a lot like that as adults, and I'll relate it to work in a big way. Being good sometimes is just okay. You get in a rut and we stay good. Well, I'm going to be pushing us to be great. There's no reason we can't be great as an organization. There are probably different parts of this organization that are already there. We're going to drag those out, and they're going to be shining examples. And others, we're going to start dragging to be great. And that's my role, but I need your help. Okay? So that's really the point about good to great. The other thing I wanted to show you is, you can put that graph up, Missy. I probably won't talk about it much, but I want to tell you that there was a survey done a few years ago, a Gallup survey. So Gallup is a large organization, very well known, a lot like the book Good to Great. Gallup organization did a survey of good organizations, average organizations. And that survey, whether it be 800 to 900 team members like we have in our organization, or 8,000 to 9,000, survey crossed all kinds of sides when it comes to organizations. What that survey showed is that about 30% of the workforce of an average organization gets it. They're on board, somewhat on fire, they're wanting to be a part of growth, and that wasn't part of my presentation. They're engaged. About 60% of the organization, 55, we'll say, 55% are neutral. I come to work, I check in, I get a paycheck, I'm here, you can fire me up today, but I'm coming back the same way tomorrow. Okay? They're neutral. We all know what that means. Lukewarm kind of thing. Then, the survey also found that 15% are actively working against the organization. And where it's trying to go. Actively fighting, moving in the right direction or in a positive direction. Let's just break this room down. So roughly a third of a normal workforce, this group right here. Okay, I'm not picking on you, I'm just looking at you as numbers, based on the total number of the room. About this size group right here, based on the whole number in this room, get it, they're moving, they're excited, moving forward, stepping up, raising their hand, I want to do it. Okay? About 50%, so about the first 8 rows, the first 4 or 5 rows are in that neutral category. Much larger group are in that neutral category. And then the back row, front row, whatever you want to say, back row, number-wise, actively working against. And you know the power of 10%, how they can pull down any family or any organization. My job and your job is to take a group like this number-wise to shift the bulk of what we have over here to this group. Is that clear? The 10%, I want on another bus. We're going to move them to another bus. Okay? So we're going to work together on that, but I'm just setting the stage. For us to be a great organization, that has to happen. And that's what that book says, not just Scott's opinion. A lot of other books you can read say that very thing. You've got to have engaged team members and engaged on the mission of an organization. We've got a great mission. We serve a lot of people in this market, in this county, in this area of Texas, and we've got to be committed to that. So I'm going to be asking for your commitment over time. Okay? Now let me kind of jump into where we'll spend a lot of our time in forums in the future is engagement, interaction, questions, answer questions kind of thing. Today is more, I kind of know what's on most of your minds. One is financial. So let me just address that real quickly. So our fiscal year is July through the end of June. 2 fiscal years ago, we lost over $5 million. Y'all read that in the paper. You know that. You should know it. We lost over $5 million. This last year that just ended at the end of June, we lost a little over $1 million. So that is a very positive thing to go from a -5 to a -1. It takes a lot of concentrated effort, and you've all been a part of that. So I compliment you on the work so far. but we still got a ways to go. The budget, probably read this in the paper, the budget for this next year that we're in right now, so we're 2 months into it roughly, almost 2 months, a month technically, about to be in the second month, we have projected a little over a $4 million loss. So 5, 1, back to 4. But that loss is based on no volume increase. It's flat from this past year. What we've added to make it such a negative number is we built a brand new house over here. So it's just like you personally living where you do and then building a house twice the size of what you live in, and you having to borrow the money to do that. That's what we've done. About $3.5 million of that $4 million negative loss projected for next year is paying a new lease payment or a new mortgage on a new house. Okay? And we had to have that. We need that. We need a new women's center. We need a new OR suite. We need more. But that's all we can afford right now. How we can drop that negative in a huge way and get back to some practices that you like and I want to, in the way of raises and so forth, is raise the volume. Volume is the name of the game. In today's environment in healthcare, we still have volume to drive the bottom line. Now down the road, it may be more geared toward wellness, keeping people out of the hospital. That's for future conversation, and we'll talk about that later. But today, we're reimbursed on volume. Now, I'm going to say this to you. You're going to hear me say it probably every forum. How we treat our customers. How we treat our customers. If we do it great, if we do it well, we won't have to have conversations about finances. They'll take care of themselves. Okay? You're going to hear me say that so much, you're going to be nauseated at it. But I promise you, that is a formula that works. So today, we're going to really focus on customer service. I want to get back to raises. We will. I'll address that more specifically in future forums. But let me just tell you where I stand with raises. I don't believe in giving the 30% of an organization that's with the organization and the 50% that are just glad to be here and the 10% that are working against me and the organization and going the opposite way. I'm not a big believer in giving everybody the same raise. I believe in giving the high performers a higher raise. And then shifting those, because of that, of this larger percent to this category to give higher raises. And in that back 10, I hope they go somewhere else to get a raise. Okay? So I'm a merit person. Yeah, there's going to be pockets and categories we have to look at, nursing, radiology, non-clinical in some areas to get to the market so we can be competitive. I agree with that. But I'm also big on merit. And we've got to move this percentage breakout that I'm talking to you about to the right category, and we will. That's our objective. I intend to lead that, but I've got to have all of you with me on that. Okay? Okay. Well, we'll do more question and answers in future forums. I'm going to be around all day. If you got anything specifically you want to ask, why the yellow parking stripes are yellow and not white, anything. I'll try to answer, and if I can't answer, I'll get somebody that can. So what we're going to do now is shift to service, customer service, and Linda's going to lead us in that.
We're going to show a quick little video.